The Pistons and the Red Wings both won on this glorious Sunday night. So now I can do the Michigan Sports Report number 19. We're moving along here, aren't we? We're going to talk college baseball, college basketball, college hockey. We're talking Pistons and Red Wings as well, the 5 sports really that are going on at this moment. In the Michigan Sports Report, as soon as the Tigers start playing, which they did do a spring game, but once they start playing meaningful games, they will be added to this report. Same for Michigan and Michigan State football once that starts up in August, late August, September. We'll start getting into more of that as well on this report. What is the goings on? All right, but college baseball started off great for Michigan this year, and then Michigan did not get ranked after beating number 2 Virginia and has since lost 3 straight games. They are 4-3 now. Monday, Michigan completed the Puerto Rico Challenge with a 6-1 win versus Stetson to win the Puerto Rico Challenge. But Friday, Michigan lost to number 22 TCU 10-4. Dylan Veig went 5.1 innings pitched, but the other 5 pitchers that Michigan put in couldn't keep TCU off the board. On Saturday, Michigan lost to Kansas State 5-1. The batters couldn't get going. And then on Sunday, a combination of both the batters getting going, but the pitching not executing, was a downfall for Michigan and a loss to number 5, Arkansas. It's early in the season. Michigan hasn't had a home game yet, and they won't here for a little bit due to weather in college baseball and college softball. That's how it always goes. But Michigan State, on the other hand, is 6-1, and Michigan State was in the Kleberg Bank College Classic. Kleberg Bank College Classic this weekend. On Friday, Michigan State beat Washington State 9-2. Joseph Zwera went 7 innings pitched and only had 1 hit against. Michigan State's bats scored 4 in the first and never looked back, scoring another 4 in the 8th inning. On Saturday, Michigan State beat Texas A&M Corpus Christi 8-3 at their place. Nolan Higgins went 4.1 innings and allowed only 3 hits. On Sunday, Michigan State lost their first game of the season to UCLA 15-9. 9 runs for UCLA in the 4th inning was too much for Michigan State to come back from in that game, but a 6-1 record to open their season is good. In college basketball, Michigan State had better news this week. They are 22-5 now. Michigan State's bench play was huge this week versus a pair of ranked opponents. On Tuesday, Michigan State beat number 13 Purdue 75-66. Their bench scored 35 points in that game. Michigan State had 10 steals and they shot 58%. Jace Richardson led in points with 12 is all, because Michigan State had 8 players with 7 or more points. The distribution, the rebounding, it's hard to beat, and Michigan found that out at home on Friday. Michigan State beat number 12 Michigan 75-62. The bench scored 31 points this time, led by Trey Holloman's 18 points off the bench. 3 of 4 shooting from three-point land. 3 in a row, if I recall, that really hurt Michigan. Michigan State also out-rebounded Michigan by 9, and Jace Richardson again led Michigan State in points with 21. Michigan State claimed the top spot in the Big Ten as of right now with the head-to-head, and Michigan went to number 2 after that game. The good thing for both of these programs is that Wisconsin and Purdue and Oregon, all of them are losing. So it is really a two-man race between these two rivals to clinch the regular season championship. Next up for Michigan State, they are at number 20 Maryland on Wednesday, and they have number 11 Wisconsin on Sunday. And next up for the 20-6 Michigan Wolverines, they are at Nebraska tomorrow night, and they have Rutgers on Thursday and Illinois on Sunday. So 3 games for the Wolverines. And other news for the Wolverines, Michigan extended Dusty May's contract, so he is staying in Ann Arbor. All right, college hockey news. Michigan State is number 1 as of right now, but the series versus Penn State didn't go so well this week. Friday, Michigan State secured a tie and a shootout loss 2-2. On Saturday, Michigan State lost to Penn State 3-2. Penn State had a 3-0 lead, and Michigan State could not come back in that game. Next up for them is a series at Notre Dame on Friday and Saturday this upcoming weekend. Number 10, Michigan in hockey news, remains 17-12-3. They had a bye week before their regular season series finale versus number 13, Ohio State. These games will be played on Thursday and Friday this week for both of those teams. All right, the NBA, as I said, the Pistons are 31-26 now, 5 games above 500. The Pistons have won 6 straight games and are now 6th place in the Eastern Conference. Watch out, Milwaukee and Indiana, as they are only a few games behind those two teams. On Friday, the Pistons beat the Spurs 125-110. Jalen Duren had 21 points, 15 rebounds, and 5 assists. What a playmaker he is turning out to be. Tobias Harris had 22 points and 7 rebounds. Cade Cunningham had 25 points and 12 assists in the win for the Pistons. On Sunday, tonight, Detroit beat Atlanta 148-143 in a shootout. I don't know if that's a record for the highest scoring regular season. These are scores that the All-Star game used to be like. So that tells you that defense is an option in the NBA that they do not ever use anymore. But it's always there if you want to use it. You could play defense. But Cunningham had 38 points, 12 assists, and 7 rebounds. And 5 other players had 12-plus points in this win for Detroit, including Dennis Schroeder off the bench with 16 points, 7 assists, and 4 rebounds. So the Pistons are moving in the right direction. Are the Red Wings? Yes, 29-22-6 now. Coming off the Four Nations tournament where Canada beat USA in the final. Damn it. On Saturday, the Red Wings had a 3-1 lead with 8 minutes left in that game. And in the third period, and lost 4-3 in overtime. The Wild scored 3 unanswered goals. One of them was a power play goal. One, they went empty net and scored to tie the game. And then the overtime goal. Detroit had a power play in overtime, and it was killed. And then Rossi came out of the penalty box and had a one-on-one versus Cam Talbot, Detroit's goalie, and he scored that for the win. But on Sunday, Detroit had another overtime game. They beat the Anaheim 5-4 in overtime. Detroit got out to another early lead, 3-0, and let it slip away again. But this time Detroit scored in overtime first, and it was Patrick Kane with his second goal of the game for the Red Wings. Detroit is now in 4th place in the Atlantic Division, only 8 spots behind the new leader, which is now the Toronto Maple Leafs. Florida is number 2 now. We're getting closer to these teams. All right, so there you go. The Michigan Sports Report. Not so good for the Wolverines, but everyone else did pretty good. We'll see what happens in this next week and edition of the Michigan Sports Report. I did the college basketball resume rankings. I put out 2 videos so far on the 2025 football schedules for college football, the Big Ten and the SEC. So go check those out as well. Thank you, everybody. Like, share, subscribe, all that. And I'll see you on the next video. Go Blue, baby.